Welcome to OCD Clarity. My name is Luc, and today I want to talk about my really first experiences with OCD, full on latched to different teams. And my first my first few moments, months, and my progression afterwards. So I'm 35 right now, and back in 2019, OCD latched full on onto different themes. I was 29 at the moment, and living a relatively normal life. I think I have OCD since I was a kid, and I was typically a lot more anxious around things, objects, people or situations more than other people, and I had some outbursts of anxiety, of panic throughout my childhood, and had strange things. Please watch my full video on my story about it. But yeah, so living a relatively normal life, and working hard, drinking a lot, 3 times a week. But yeah, the anxiety, the panic, and the OCD never hindered me of living a relatively normal life. So in February 2019, I had a business trip to America, and I woke up just as normal. Had a drink the other night, the night before, because we were celebrating that we were going to America, and had a little bit too much of alcohol. So I woke up hungover as shit. I forgot to set my alarm. So I went downstairs to my friend who picked me up. We went to the airport, and just really, the honest story is that I was feeling just as usual, hangover, but as usual. And we went to the airport, had a cup of coffee, had something to eat, and so we were looking at the screens and saw that we needed to go to the airplane to board the plane. And I was standing in line, and we moved, we progressed, and at almost when we could step in the airplane, I experienced a full-blown panic attack. It was like all the anxiety that had built up in my complete life came out at that moment. It was really, really intense. I was so scared, so intensely panicked. My heart was racing, my thoughts were racing, but at that point, there was no particular OCD team or something. It was just a very, very, very bad panic attack. But this set the stage. This was the point of no return with OCD, anxiety, and depression. So I really didn't know what was happening. And yeah, I was so scared, but I just entered the plane. The plane closed the door and we went. And the panic attack didn't stop. I thought, okay, maybe I will feel better in 10 minutes or something. But it never went. The complete flight, I couldn't eat, I couldn't talk. And I thought my head was going to explode. Really, it was so bad. All the emotions that you can imagine happened. The anxiety was like I never felt before. So in the past years I had a lot of things happening. My father passed away when I was young, and I never stood still around those things and just lived on and lived my life. Never processed it. Had a very bad accident with a friend of mine. Never processed it also. And all different kind of things. Living a life I didn't want to live. Doing things I didn't want to do. And it was like a bomb exploding. So I always pushed away anxiety. I always pushed away certain thoughts, certain emotions. I was avoiding a lot back before my panic attack, but I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't knew I had OCD or anxiety, generalized anxiety disorder. So we landed in America, and I thought, no, maybe I will feel a little bit better, but I didn't say anything to my business partner. So we landed, and I had a drink, and I felt better. I thought, okay, this will going to be all right. I will be feeling a little bit better. But we went out for dinner, had a good night. But as I said, it was the point of no return. I came back to the hotel, and I'm not used to skyscrapers, you know. I was in Miami, it was really high, and at a certain point, intrusive thoughts were entering my mind. And here is where OCD latched. 24/7 thoughts. First it was, OCD can latch onto everything, you know. So first it latched onto the thing that I would jump out of the building. So I did a compulsion. I closed all doors and tried to hide the key of the door. And from this point on, OCD latched onto sensory motor OCD, harm OCD, health OCD. It all entered my mind, and I really thought that I never could recover from this, because I went from specialist to specialist to specialist to specialist to specialist, and no one could help me. And so the days progressed, the weeks progressed, the months went by, and it only got worse and worse and worse and worse. At a certain point, OCD was everywhere in my life. I wasn't working anymore. I wasn't socializing anymore. I was just existing. And to be honest, I was in a downward spiral for years, because I couldn't find the right information. I couldn't find someone who had really recovered from sensory motor OCD or health OCD, who could explain me what to do. It was all vague. All the recovery programs were vague, and I went from specialist to OCD specialist, and here in the country that I live. And yeah, for the most part it was real light CBT. The person who was helping me never had OCD, and he didn't understand. Maybe you could fix someone with mild OCD, but someone with severe chronic OCD latched onto all different teams 24/7. He can't help me because he doesn't know how it works. And I had one question in particular, because OCD, sensory motor OCD, was latched on for 4 years straight. I said, I can't stop thinking about my breathing. I'm very scared of my breathing. And the only answer I got was, everybody breathes. What do you mean, Luke? What do you mean? There's nothing scary about that. So people advising mindfulness courses, gave all kinds of reassurance, but for years I didn't progress. For 1% I only went down the spiral. It was really bad, and at a certain point anxiety throughout the day was 8 out of 9, 9 out of 9. Every hour I was awake. And then I made it my life's mission to really get better from this disorder, because this wasn't a life I could live any longer. So I really did everything about it. I spoke to so many people worldwide who recovered from OCD, and at first I couldn't find anyone who recovered from sensory motor OCD, really recovered, and but I could find people who recovered from other forms of OCD, and I tried to implement things they did, what then got to a better place. And this is the honest story. So until 2023 I didn't had any symptom relief, really didn't. I was in a better place, but the anxiety was through the roof, because I was still doing compulsions, still doing avoidances, doing all kinds of self-reassurance. And I don't blame myself, because I didn't have the right information. You really need to commit to it. So the first few weeks, if you are having OCD now for days or weeks, for me it was really bad, and this will stay for a while, and it's not something you solve in a week or in 2 weeks or in a month. If you have severe chronic OCD, when 6 months, you can make significant progress in 6 months if you have the right information, but you will backslide a lot, because OCD is so creative, and when you think you have fixed it all, it will give you another angle, just another theme, just another subject who just another anxiety spike, just another panic attack to keep you in the cycle. But you really need to commit, really need to be honest with yourself, really you need to give it all, because it's a very, very hard disorder to get better from. But have hope, because now you can get better, and you can get to a place where you don't even know you have OCD, but you need to do a lot of work for it, facing fears constantly throughout the day, have a normal a daily routine, going to the gym, going to work, even if you feel horrible, and you will feel horrible. Socialize, seeing family, seeing friends, doing all the kind of things in and around the house, doing fixing little things in the house, outside the house, having a good, healthy diet. This won't fix your OCD, but it is very beneficial. It all adds up, you know. When you are only laying in bed, just thinking about a solution, not doing things, feeling very drained, this leads to nothing. And I slept very bad for years, but still did everything. So, facing your fears, CBT, really work at how you view the world, how you view things, your beliefs, working on acceptance. And for the most part, it's getting used to all the different kind of emotions, all the feelings, all the urges, all the thoughts, all the sensations, everything. And for a very big part in the recovery journey, it is really become more open to all the emotions OCD gives you, all the depressive feelings, all the depersonalization, the realization. You need to if you are very distracted, you need to let everything run its course. It's the only way. If you try to resist, what you resist will persist. It will. You can try to resist a certain feeling, a certain thought, a certain possible outcome, your complete life with you. You will never recover from OCD. You need to become a lot more accepting, and the end goal is to become less scared of your worst case scenario, of all your fears, of all your thoughts, of all the sensations, and then get back to just a normal state. But it takes time, and a med won't cure you. It will help you, but it won't cure OCD, because a lot of people think when they take an SSRI, oh, you will feel a little bit better, but stop working on recovery. And at a certain point, the effect of the SSRI will wear off, and it is not meant to be taking your whole life. So if you're taking them, there's nothing wrong with them, but you really need to work, and eventually stop using the meds, because at a certain point the thoughts will come back, the urges will come back, everything will come back, and then what? Up the dose, take another pill? It doesn't work. So, but have hope. I was a very severe case, and I'm at a certain point where I feel I'm more myself than ever. I can make decisions fast in my own interest, and I'm not scared to talk about my feelings. I'm not scared to talk about my insecurities. I'm not scared to really speak my mind. And I was really, I was always a people pleaser, you know. So, and just living my life on my own terms and not OCD's terms or other person's terms. And that's so OCD has more negatives than positives, but there's a few positives in the sense of because you really need to work at your complete self. You really need to reinvent your complete personality and change how you view the world, things, and yourself. You have benefits from it, because I'm much more calm, reliable, rational, honest, and I think a better person, or a nicer person to be around with. And I like that about the complete journey, but I really didn't want to have the OCD, but and I still have it, but yeah, just functioning as a person who doesn't have OCD or anxiety, because I'm not anxious, and if I'm realistic, there's always a chance that OCD can latch onto something within me, and it's never gone. I mean, there's no cure, but I'm not scared of it anymore. And I still have certain, not intrusive thoughts, but really strange things, once in a while, when I'm just sitting somewhere, and still to this day, for instance, just for 99% of the time I'm just normal, but then I'm sitting waiting for the train, and then someone walks by, and I think sometimes some very strange thoughts pop up that they will kill me or something, or that I will kill them. But I'm not scared of it anymore, so it won't latch, and it doesn't go the spiral downwards. So when I have the tools to really handle those strange situations, and if you're going back to doing compulsions, pushing away thoughts, pushing away this thought, or the emotion it gives you, then you go back in the rabbit hole. So you always need to be on the lookout, that you won't do any compulsions. But yeah, it's not that hard, and I can live with it. So so basically, the first few weeks are first few months are really hard. But if you I couldn't find the right information, or people really understand what I was going through. And if you find this video in your first few weeks and this channel, then I think that this will really help you. And you can make significant changes in a year, and be at a very a much more better place than you are now. But a lot of people I talk with, who I help, and it's understandable, they have a few weeks of very bad anxiety or OCD, and they want it gone. What's understandable, but it doesn't work that way. You really need to work at it for a longer period of time. But it is doable, and if you need any help, please contact me, send me a message. Please leave a comment, give it a like, and if you have any suggestions for videos, let me know. And please download the OCD Clarity Action Plan from my website, ocdclarity.com, and have a nice day.